Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be talking about a topic that a lot of different players out there have talked about, but they've really never talked in depth about it. And that is all these draw cards that now we have in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the ones we're going to be getting. So let's look back over the last couple of months and what we're going to be getting in the future. A couple of months ago when the ban list came out, we got Allure of Darkness, which previously in the OCG was at 1 of, and then got bumped up, I think, now to 2 or 3 of. We got that card bumped up to a 2 of over here in the TCG. People thought it was really going to be a broken card, but it has impacted the meta to a small degree. But at the same time, it really helps out a lot of rogue decks out there, a lot of rogue strategies and ideas that are dark-based decks out there. We also look at some other cards we got recently, like Car of Demise, a card that a lot of people didn't know the potential of this card until people started seeing it in rogue decks, and we even saw it a little bit in the meta decks with Cosmos. Now people think it's a broken card, but we'll get to that in a little bit later. Then we have things like Power of Cupidity, which is coming out in the next set, which you banish 10 cards, but you get to draw 2 cards, and people see the value of that card, but it's really not good in combo-oriented decks where you have to rely on a couple cards here and there. Then we have another card that's coming out in Venom that got announced about a day or so ago, and that is part of Avivity, I think it is, where you pretty much can have 3 banished monsters, and then you can add those monsters back to your deck, and then you can draw 1 card. It really helps out in certain situations with like decks like DDs and just decks that banish a lot and need to recoup their resources, or if you're facing a deck that banishes a lot of your cards, maybe they use Winter Cherry Blossoms on you, you can use maybe part of Avivity on that. I'm not sure of the ruling exactly how that would work, but I believe that would work. If they banished your Dantes, you could add them back to your deck, but neither here nor there. Notice what I said about all these different cards out there. There are pros and cons to each one of them. And there's a lot of them coming out now. People have wondered, why is Pot of Greed not back if we're getting all these different draw cards? What's a +2 when you're getting a +3 off Car of Demise, or you're drawing off Pot of Cupidity, or you're going to have this new card now, and then you have Allure of Darkness. You know, why is Pot of Greed not here? Look at all the different cards out there. Look at all these different cards I mentioned. Now, the same discussion and topic was brought about originally when Pod Duality originally came out in Duelist Revolution. It's a broken card, it's a great card. It got limited to 2, but then it went back to 3. Now, I can't say Allure of Darkness is not a good card, because it really is, and history has proven that. Car of Demise is a very good card, and really helps out a lot of rogue deck strategies out there. It really, really does. It makes a lot of decks be able to function more. It's yet to be seen if Konami decides to hit the card, but we also can say with a surety that this card has helped a lot of rogue strategies and made this current meta we're in more diverse. No matter what you think, it has made older decks and older strategies more diverse, thus making the meta a little bit more diverse. We saw Alinthio over in England. He piled a counter fairy deck that really relied on Car of Demise. We have Yusenjus. We have all these Gravekeepers I've even tried it in. There's a lot of rogue decks out there that really help, that Car of Demise really helps out and makes the meta more diverse. It means that you can play a little bit more traps, which can slow down your opponent and cause you to play a game like that. Now, people don't like traps. People say that they want the game to go fast, and then you have another group of the players that say they want traps because traps are a necessary evil. Some people say they hate traps because they're slow and cumbersome. There's 2 different camps. I don't know which one's better, but I'm just telling you that's what people are talking about. Then we have Pot of Cupidity, which, believe me, I personally believe when that card comes out, people will try to play it in every single deck just like they did in the OCG, because that is what the OCG does, and we seem to always come up with ideas. We'll look at strategies that the OCG did, and once somebody tops with Power Cupidity at a YCS, that card's going to probably be a secret rare, and it'll probably shoot up to be a $50 card for overnight probably. I bet that's exactly what's going to happen, or something of that nature. Because it's a good card, but not everybody's going to want to play that card. Some people see pros to it. Some people say it's not worth it to banish 10 cards to draw 2. That ratio kind of seems off. And then you're going to have competitive players that are going to be discussing about it probably come September and August about that card and how broken it is and things of that nature. And then we're going to have this other card that's going to be coming out in Venom. You get your 3 banished monsters back, you draw 1 card. What does that sound like to you? It sounds like Pot of Avarice to me, but for banished monsters. So I think that all these cards have their pros and cons. I think they may be slightly broken, but in today's game, to keep up, you need, for older decks to really keep up and adjust to power creep, you need to draw more cards, and you need to be able to search your cards more efficiently and have more efficient hands. Cards like Carve Demise, cards like Allure of Darkness, cards like even Pot of Cupidity, which you've seen played in Heroes, really help those decks out, compete against the main meta decks better. And so I see pros to them. I see cons because people don't like the idea of running into a lot of traps, and they don't like set 4, and they think Twin Twister is not enough, and they want heavy back because of that reason. I get that. But I would rather see a diverse meta than a format where it's just 1 or 2 decks, like Dragon Rulers and Spellbooks, or it be just a 1-deck format like Teledad. I want to see a lot of decks have the potential to compete. Be they cheap decks, expensive decks, it don't matter. If they can compete, then the meta is diverse. If there's a lot of decks that can do that. And right now there is. With Brilliant Fusion and things of that nature, there's a lot of decks right now that compete if you actually really look at decks that are very viable in this format. So I'm just saying that, guys. It's yet to be seen what these cards do. Some of them, like Pot of Cupidity, and the other one, Pot of Avarice. But I personally believe that before Pot of Greed ever comes back, to people that say Pot of Greed comes back, you need Pot of Avarice to come back. Because that card, I believe, is still unbanned in the OCG, and I feel like that card needs to come back first before we see Pot of Greed come back. That's just my humble opinion. But Pot of Greed there's no negative to that. All these cards we've talked about have some type of negative. Allure of Darkness probably has the least. Carve Demise, you have to set up your hand to be able to use Carve Demise effectively. Pot of Cupidity means you have to banish 10 cards. This other card, Card of Avarice, means you have to have at least 3 cards banished already before you can activate it. And not a lot of decks that I can think of off the top of my head can really effectively use it. I may be missing a very blatant one, but I don't see a lot of cards by the time that card comes out that will probably be using it very efficiently. There could be something that comes out between now and then, but that's yet to be seen again. So those are just my thoughts. Tell me what you think, guys, of all these draw cards that are coming out in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Take care, and good luck dueling to all of you.